On tonight's edition of The Overtime, the 2016 high school baseball season is underway as Flagstaff, NPA, and Coconino began with tournament play. We will discuss who the most impressive team was. The NAU men's tennis team seems to have found their groove. Can they stay hot? And finally, the men's indoor track and field team made history at the Big Sky Championships. We will give you all the details, all that and more, next up on The Overtime. Thank you for joining us and welcome to this edition of The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Matt Stern. We have a lot to talk about tonight, and joining me in the studio is Sam Oshins. Sam, how you doing tonight?
Thanks, Matt. It's great to be back on The Overtime, and I'm excited for tonight. Shall we get started?
Let's jump right into it. Let's start off on the baseball diamond. Coconino, NPA, and Flagstaff were in 3 separate tournaments last week. Sam, which team impressed you the most?
Matt, the Flagstaff Eagles look very impressive in their tournament. They won 3 out of their 4 games they played. NPA had the most impressive win on the weekend, however, as they shut out Glendale Prep 19-0. And Coconino struggled to give up they gave up at least 4 runs in all of their games. The Eagles won 3 games in their opening tournament, and in all 3 of those wins, Flagstaff won by 3 or more runs. The highlight of this tournament has to be the 8-4 win the Eagles had over Sabino High School in Tucson. The Eagles may have won 3 games in the tournament, but they also suffered a crushing 14-5 loss to Walden Grove in the final game. This begs the question, is pitching going to be an issue this season for the Eagles if they play multiple days in a row? And is their offense potent enough to make a difference in those situations?
Sam, I'm going to have to agree with you 100%. Flagstaff was by far the most important team in their opening tournament. Considering that they were 10-18 last year, Flagstaff is off to a very good start this year, and that is because their pitching is so much better. Last year, pitching was the Eagles' Achilles heel, but this year, I think it can be their strong point. They have 3 starters that have ERAs under 3 so far this season, and the Eagles have a very potent offense. But like you said, Sam, pitching is the key to this team's success. Now let's move over to NAU. After a slow start to the spring season, the Lumberjack men's tennis team seems to have turned it around, winning 4 of their last 5 matches. Sam, do you think this team can continue their recent success?
Matt, it seems like the opening of our new tennis center has sparked these Jacks, as they have won 3 out of their 4 matches in the new facility. After a really bad start in January, the Jacks began to show results towards the end of February, as they went on a 4-match win streak, which included 3 wins at the new NAU Swim and Tennis Complex. The highlight was their inaugural match in the new facility, where the Jacks had a clean sweep of the defending Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference champions, Western New Mexico. Freshmen Taylor Lucas and Tim Handel both won their matches in straight sets and have continued to stay hot. I believe now that the NAU tennis has a true home court where they will continue to find success.
Yes, Sam, the Jacks got off to a very rough start this season, starting 0-6, but after that, they caught fire, winning 4 of their next 5 matches. They had a huge win against Conference Foe Montana, bringing them to a 1-1 conference record. Now, looking at the schedule, they have 3 straight matches coming up, all on the road. This could be make or break time for the Lumberjacks, as they are 1-6 on the road this year. But if they can find a way to win on the road, the Jacks could be a contender in the Big Sky going forward. Now, staying with NAU, the swim and dive team just won its 3rd straight Western Athletic or WAC conference title. How dominant have the Jacks been over the past 3 years, Sam?
You said it, Matt. The Jacks are dominant, and they have shown no signs of slowing down. 3 WAC titles in a row, and the Jacks are still hungry for more. With the opening of the new swim and dive complex came a new era for the Jacks, but it garnered the same result, a championship. The Jacks dominated every day of the WAC championships, but their most impressive day was day 1, when NAU finished with 4 divers in the top 5, and the Jacks claimed their first 200-meter relay title since joining the WAC. Now the Jacks have won their 3rd conference title, but now NAU has to focus on winning it all and heading into NCAA play. The Jacks have momentum on their side.
Yeah, Sam, the Lumberjacks have been a WAC powerhouse. They showed their dominance at the WAC championships, winning by an astounding 319 points over second place New Mexico State. Some members of the team also took home some individual hardware. Swim coach Andy Johns won the WAC Swim Coach of the Year for the 3rd straight year, and diving coach Nikki Huffman was named WAC Diving Coach of the Year. And in addition, junior Alexa Geiger won 2 gold medals in individual diving events and also received Diver of the Year. Talk about a great year for the swim and dive team. I expect big things from the Lumberjacks at NCAA Regionals, which begin on Monday. And for our last topic of the night, we talk NAU track and field. The indoor men's track and field team just won its 5th straight Big Sky Championship. Sam, do you consider NAU track and field a Big Sky dynasty?
Matt, it is safe to say that the Lumberjack track and field has become a dynasty, and they show no signs of changing that. 5 Big Sky titles in a row, and the Jacks have set their sights on the NCAA tournament and the ultimate prize. Perhaps the biggest highlight came on day 1 of the championships when the NAU men's team earned 29 points in one event, as NAU not only won the 5,000-meter race, but also had runners finish in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Overall, the men's team secured 151 points, which is 5th all-time at the Big Sky Conference Championships.
I think without question you have to consider NAU track and field a Big Sky dynasty. They have a total of 19 indoor conference championships, which include the 5 straight. The 151 points, which Sam mentioned, as he also mentioned, was 5th all-time, ahead of and they finished ahead of 2nd place Southern Utah by an eye-popping 79 points. They were led by Futsum Zenaselassie, who made history at this event. He took home the Big Sky's most valuable athlete for the 2nd straight year, and he became the first indoor track athlete in NAU history to win 2 straight 3,000 meters at the event. In my opinion, this event solidified him as one of the greatest track athletes in NAU history. Now, coming up after the break, our reporter Anthony Rosales spent some time with NAU's rugby team, the Land Sharks. Don't go anywhere.